It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
You decide when you lose, not other people.
And Blabs.
I like pickles.
And co-hosted by our friends from around the internet. Today with Melody Mack.
Makes your skin soft and...
And in this world of insanity, we are graciously supported by fans of common sense. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on God's green earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and Twitch.tv. What's going on, everybody? Hi, I'm Stuttering Craig. Happy Friday to you. Man, is it going to be a good one? Oh, hi, Blabs. How are you?
What was that? I just look over and you're like I don't know what you just did.
I don't even know what the hell that was. You know, I was eating. I had some.
Ew.
I had one. I had some chicken strips this morning. I don't think they all went down the hatch.
Ew. Craig is just spewing chicken. I'm really glad we're not in a live studio. That's what
Oh my God! Welcome on. Hi,
Start
Blaz.
again.
Good morning. Okay, hold on. It's time for Side Scrollers with me.
You can't do that to me. You can't do that. I was drinking tea.
Oh my God! Here we go. Good to see everybody. Hi, Melody.
Hi. I think it's hilarious how you had chicken nuggies for breakfast.
Chicken nuggets with hot sauce today.
Okay. Save
Yeah.
some for later. Smart.
I don't know what the hell just happened, but
Your
it was.
snack for later just picks it out of his beard. Oh, look, chicken.
It was not in my beard. It was not in my beard. I don't know. It was either way. I'm glad everybody's here. Welcome, Melanie. You've been a busy girl. You've been bouncing around. I saw you on the quartering stream yesterday and
On the
everywhere
quarter
else.
stream, Nina Infinity's podcast, Tuesday night's main event, and now here. So it's been an eventful week. It's been fun.
Do you have time to make videos?
Barely. I'm making it happen.
Good. Well, hey, I'm glad you're here. It's going to be a great show. We have lots to talk about today. So much. But before we talk about what we're going to talk about, I want to remind you guys, we are live over at rumble.com/sidescrollers. Join us over there. If you like the free speech stuff, we're closing in on 5,000 followers over there. Hit the follow button. It seemed like just yesterday we were about 1,000, and here we are, growing a little bit more every day. All organic. We love you guys over on Rumble, which is great. We also have an X account at Side Scroller Pod, which we're starting to post more and more clips over there. Blabs is learning how to do that. So good.
It's a big learning.
It is a learning
Studio
curve.
is a bit complicated.
Yes. Yeah. Did you know that there was a studio just like YouTube Studio has and Facebook Studio has, Mel?
What for Twitter/X?
Yeah.
For content creators can just go there?
Yes.
Oh,
Studio.
is that like in San Francisco?
No. I mean
like an
online.
actual,
Oh.
YouTube studio.
Yeah. Go to studio.x.com.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
She's all like, all right.
no, I thought there was like, because I
Get
know
back,
YouTube
pack
had
my bags.
it was YouTube Space, YouTube Spaces where people could go and film content there.
That was a good idea in theory, you know?
Right.
But do they still have those? Are they still
I don't
around?
know. I don't even know. It's been such a long time. I went to one once, but yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah, it's been a long time for me. I went to the one up in New York, and went to like a YouTube session taught by YouTube people, and
Mhm.
it was like, what type of content is your content? Are you a hero or a hero channel, a hub channel, or whatever there are 3 different things.
I feel like those training type seminar things, whether online or otherwise, that these platforms do are always retarded and they're not that beneficial. Same with like Instagram. They're like, oh, you want to be a real creator? You should make sure your audiences, you have all their attention and do this and that. And it's just the most stupid advice. It's not actually any good advice. It's just the most baseline common sense things.
It's just a whole bunch of influencer circle jerking each other too.
It is.
It's kind of gross. It's like,
It really is. It is all just that whole like oh, this is the brand friendly version. And I mean, let's be real, when it comes to being a content creator and making content that's actually people are going to want to watch. They want to see people being real. They don't want to see people just, oh, let's make this all friendly for everybody, you know?
Mhm.
Well, the best advice I can give to you, gentle G2 viewer, is to hit the thumbs up button. And if you're new, make sure you subscribe and join the 59,723 common sense loving mother suckers out there who have joined. We are closing in on our goal of 60,000 for the year. Actually, our first goal is 50,000. We blew by that. So we're kicking ass. If you're new, we'd love for you to join us. We're growing a little bit more every single day. We'd love for you to join it, which is great. Also, we have an Instagram account, don't we, Blabs?
Yeah, we're sitting really close to 950 followers. So listen, guys, you have 2 weeks to get your shit together and help us reach 1K goal on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram.
We may even start streaming over on Instagram.
I saw the new pop-up on StreamYards actually today. We were just talking about yesterday. It's like, we can stream on Instagram now. I was like,
Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass to do, but yeah, but it's okay. I watched the video and I think it's something that we may worth exploring. Huh? It's just a giant hemorrhoid on the internet. It's crazy, but
floods preparation H.
Our goal is to get to 300 likes on the stream. So do us a favor and hit the thumbs up button. And our goal, as always, is 20 memberships for the day, and we are at 2. As Ice Cold came in as a brand new member, which is great.
Ice baby.
But too cold. And Kinetic came in and gifted a membership. Let's go, Kinetic.
Hey.
Thank you very much. Got that one to K1 right there. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. That's awesome. So we're currently sitting at 2, just 18 away from our daily goal of 20 memberships on the channel. Let's continue to go. Sub came in as a Prime member over on Twitch, which is great. He says, let's go. Hey, let us go. A couple things to keep in mind. Yesterday, we had, if you want to see the most wholesome, most fun, most fangirl content ever, no, you need to watch yesterday's interview that Blab did with Flick Miles. Do you know who Flick Miles is?
I know last time I was on here, Blabs was fangirling about the Hermione double. So I'm going to assume that's who that was.
Listen, Blabs was the biggest dork in the world.
Oh, that's so cute.
She was just like, and at the end she was like, can we hang out? I want to be your friend. And it got all like
not
creepy.
What I did.
Yeah, it was weird, man. It was weird. It was weird. She was like, and like what happened was Flick she opened the window for Blabs. She's like, hey, how about you come over to London and we'll hang out and we'll go see the stuff. And we'll do a show. So Blabs is like,
like booking my flight right now.
Yeah. He thought I was texting her when I was doing super like time chats and all that. And he's like, oh, you booking a flight? I was like, no. Doing my job.
So make sure you guys go watch that. Later today, we are in the Rumble Studio beta. And this afternoon, I'm going to do an exclusive stream to Rumble and try to figure out what the hell the Rumble Studio is. Because I think it's pretty good. I think it's a lot like what we're using right now with StreamYard. But I have not done any streams on it. I haven't done anything on it. But it's going to be exclusive over on Rumble this afternoon, probably around 1 or 2 o'clock, just sometime this afternoon. So make sure you guys are following rumble.com/sidescrollers. So what are we going to do? I don't know, but we'll figure it out. Some interviews we have coming up next week. We have this gentleman named Danny Damien. He is a YouTuber with well over 1 million subscribers, and he is a photographer who's really well known in the space. And he actually remembered me from back in the old Screw Attack days. He said inspired him and stuff. So that's cool. We're going to get together and talk about
Craig's
photography.
ego is going to go poof.
Awesome.
Because Danny in the DMs is like, oh, you inspired me to go and make my own YouTube channel. So now Craig's going to be like, I did that.
I'll be like, so tell me about photography and me.
It's all about me.
No, but that I'm really looking forward to that. And coming up on Thursday, Chrissy Mayer will be joining the show for the first time.
Nice. I love Chrissy.
Yes, all in her pregnant self. It'll be really, really great. Blabs, can you please sound the electronic trumpets? Because Shane Bentley has come in with 20 gifted memberships. Let's go.
All right.
Trumpets.
What are they?
Well, the first bit was the saxophone. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You're not a musician.
I'm not.
Anyway,
Shane.
thank you, Shane.
With the 20 gifted memberships. Let's go. Bam! Look at it right there.
Hey, I got gifted a membership. Thanks.
Oh, nice.
I love that. And that puts us at 22 for the day, hitting our goal. Hell yes. That is awesome. Thank you very much.
What is this sound alert? Dance pop.
It's dance pop music. I don't know.
Not the dance part yet.
No, it's not. I don't know.
No, it's
Hey, thank you, Shane. Alan, thank you very much for becoming a member as well. That's 22 for the day. Love stinking that. That is awesome. Really appreciate that. All right. Hey, our boy Rick, Rumble Rick is in the chat. Rick is the guy who's the mover and shaker over on Rumble. I was just telling everybody how we're gonna do a Rumble studio stream this afternoon. So make sure you're for that. Maybe you want to hop on. It'd be great. So yeah, welcome on out, everybody. We got that. We got Chrissy, and I want to let you know that Sig came in before the show even got started. Said good morning. Thank you so much, Sig. Greatly appreciate that.
Good morning.
Alan says, I didn't expect the milk trucks to show up this morning. Well, the milk trucks did show up in the thumbnail. I know it works. I know it works. Blabs, did you like this morning's thumbnail?
Boobies. I mean, I don't like them because I'm straight. However, you all, the men out there, you're welcome.
Poll today, Blabs. Do you
Okay.
like boobs? BC
That is so
came in.
Stupid. Everybody likes boobs.
I don't know.
Melanie likes her own boobs. I like my own boobs. Everybody likes boobs.
There we go.
Hey, BC says, love you guys. Craig, bring back Slam Ball. Slam Ball came back this past summer. I don't know if you know that or not. It came back, had a little run on ESPN. It was kind of crazy to see, but whatever. Push Up says, was that Mega Man X in the intro? Awesome. Also, Mel, chicken nuggies? Yes, that was Mega Man X. It's been our intro for 20 years, literally. So thank you, Push Ups. Appreciate that. And Say the Dream says, shout out to my boy Jesus. Hey, thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right. And also over on Rumble, we got a couple Rumble rants. One from Blake says, nice thumbnail. Let's go. And Nikki says, so what's your opinion on the M Cave and the disappearance of Kenny Veach? Nikki, I don't know what either of those are. Hey, speaking of Nikki, last time Nikki came in, Nikki was asking about this thing called Goatman's Bridge in the North Texas area. It is this bridge that was from like 1850, and it was decommissioned about 10, 15, 20 years ago, whatever. I know this because as a kid, I went over this bridge. And funny story, there's now like walking trails and stuff around this.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, like the day after Nikki came in asking about this bridge, or maybe it was the day before, I don't know. But a guy was shot in the head at the bridge because now this is all just speculation, but this is what I heard. This is what I heard. There's a dude who was murdered there, shot in the head. And the reason was apparently the guy was a pedo. And he received some justice from somebody.
Okay.
So
That's
will not be missed.
Good news for the day.
So long, sucker.
So, hey, what do you know? Do you like knockers? 95% say yes. The other 5% are diddling their wieners right now. Which is great. Zamizi says, great interview with Uwe Boll this week. Look forward to seeing this brand grow more. Well, we can't do it without your help. Thank you very much for that membership and your longtime support. Max says, what kind of bees make milk? Boobies. Let's go, Mac. Love that. All right, let's get into it. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for Hard News. Well, I'll tell you what, ladies. The last few days, boobies have been on everybody's mind. They have been all around the internet on places that they probably shouldn't have been, including Twitch, which we are live on right now, which Shakeshifter, thank you so much for that Twitch Prime sub. Really appreciate that. Okay, so this was put out a couple days ago where Twitch updated their sexual content policy. And the two key words that you need to know is artistic nudity, not autistic nudity.
It's called art.
Artistic nudity, which was very vague, extremely vague. And I actually I thought to myself,
Here
hey,
we go.
maybe I should do an artistic nudity stream yesterday. And
But in your
Blabs
case,
actually,
it would actually be autistic.
well, no, Blabs.
I'm so in trouble.
No, but I thought about doing it. And Blabs talked me out of it because I don't want to get naked. I don't want to take any clothes off, but I would like to show off art over the course, and I would love to see art, from the Roman times, Greek times, whatever, and see how long I could do that stuff until somebody was like, "You can't do that," right? But it got worse because there was a lot of people over the last couple of days who were really pushing the limits as to what art is. And that's the thing about art is it's extremely subjective when it comes to these things. But this is how they changed it. They said certain content now allowed with labels. Artistic nudity permitted under sexual themes label. Game nudity, contextual labels necessary. Body paint acceptable with appropriate label. Mature games, blah blah blah. It doesn't really, it doesn't even matter. The big thing is these right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what you saw yesterday was things like this. The floodgates opened, and you saw I want to play this without music, without audio first, then I want to play it afterwards because the audio is outstanding. So she's on, and I don't know if you can tell this, but she's actually playing a Mario game up here, right? Like what?
Wow.
Like, is anybody actually tuning in to watch her play Mario Sunshine? No, what they're tuning in is for this hammer, literally knocking on her knockers, back and forth as she collects shine stars and stuff. So
the fact that a lot of people are watching that just shows how degenerate society is right now. This is pure insanity.
So right. You're 100% right. And I want to play this with audio because this girl's playing Mario Sunshine over here. And as you can see in the upper corners, it does say intended for certain audiences.
Intended for autistic audiences.
Yeah, but who can actually read that teeny tiny little thing, right?
For real.
I feel like you have to recreate that meme of that guy who's like, where
you
is
go.
it?
Yeah.
Look at this commenter. You are sexy, girl. I like you, game.
Oh, wow. Wow.
He probably wrote that with only one hand because he was
It's going hard. Oh, go and watch this real quick. This because everything about this is ruined as soon as she opens her mouth.
I usually talk about bullshit on here.
I just think it's like so classy. So much class, just dripping from her. You should talk about that bullshit.
She a linebacker also?
So we had about 24 to 36 hours of this type of content. And I think pretty much immediately Twitch was like, probably shouldn't have done that. So much so that Melanie, I don't know if you know this, but this morning Twitch came out and they have said they are rolling back the artistic nudity changes.
That didn't take long.
Did not take long at all. Moving forward, depictions of real or fictional nudity won't be allowed on Twitch regardless of the medium. This restriction does not apply to mature-rated games. You can find emote-specific standards for nudity and sexual content in the emote guidelines. We aren't making other changes to the updated sexual content policy. So,
goodness. Well, yeah, because it was just as soon as they made that announcement, it was rampant. All of a sudden, it's like, okay, Twitch is going to be viewed as a porn site. Even VTubers, it's like they had the nude skin already made and good to go.
yes.
they announced it, all of a sudden this nude VTuber is making streams on there. It's just wow.
This is a spectacular response to that. I love this response. This is from Grums. I don't know who Grums is, but they are.
Oh, he used to do. He's like a really big World of Warcraft creator. And then he made his own game. What was that called? I can't remember, but he did make his own game at one point as well.
Well, Grums came out and said, "I swear Twitch is run by an emotionally stunted 20-year-old deerkin," which is just absolutely brilliant stuff.
Oh
my gosh.
my goodness.
It's like,
I mean,
who could have thought? Go ahead. Yes, Melanie.
But this is part of the result of the, I know it's funny, but the deer stuff, the making up genders thing, all that sort of stuff. And I think it's easy to just try to be like, oh yeah, no big deal, whatever, let them do their thing. But the more that people as a society accept this kind of stuff, and oh, now we have a deer person, you know, as a head of Twitch safe space, whatever. Yeah, then all of a sudden, once you start accepting degeneracy at large, then degeneracy just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. So go back to shaming stuff. That's what I gotta say.
I wonder if we could have been a fly on the wall of the Twitch conversations where they're like, listen, people will be able to handle this. Well, it's going to be artistic nudity, right? Number one, surely there had to been some pushback in that executive, like,
Right.
You know, someone's like, yeah, you know what? That's probably not a good idea, right? And then once it was opened up and the floodgates just went like, it was like, tits, boobs, rub, bush, artistic, right? What was it? Who was like, hey, so do you think we should probably scale back on this? Or do you think the CEO was like, yo, we fucked up, you know?
For real, because it's ruining their entire brand. I mean, not that Twitch's brand is so perfect right now, but it's just immediately overnight, Twitch just started getting viewed as a porn site. And if they didn't put a stop to it, it only would have gotten worse from there.
Yeah. And it lasted a full, like legit 24, maybe 36 hours tops.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
You could have had your breakthrough moment, Craig.
Well,
I'm
and
sorry,
for that,
I shamed you into not doing it.
And I'm going to hold you. There's a lot of spite I hold towards you right now, Blabs.
Because I bully you?
You bullied me into not making my artistic nudity stream
I bullied
yesterday.
you into not showing off your tits.
And not mine,
Not mine either.
but others. Okay, so here's a realistic question. Let's say those who went in and they used this tiny window of time and they were out there showing off their boobies artistically, right? Or autistically. Do their clips and videos sent from their channel now have to be removed because they now violate guidelines?
Good question. I would
Download
think
those
yes.
videos, guys.
Yeah, as Sarcastic Fox says, Craig was going to paint with his dong. That's right.
Anyway, so like if you do like a Bob Ross style painting, you draw a naked woman, do you get in trouble?
I don't know. These are all, well, you know, I'll tell you this. Yesterday there were all sorts of people drawing like naked women with fox heads and stuff. I saw one of those guys getting passed around.
Furries, huh?
Yeah. So that was being passed around a lot yesterday. And as Melanie said, there was literally like, it was amazing to me that the VTubers who were just like, well, all of a sudden I'm naked.
I'm like scrolling on Twitter and saw a VTuber bush on my timeline. I'm like, what is this? They're streaming on Twitch. Like,
yes, it's crazy.
Did not need to see that.
I don't even know what we're doing today in the world, but it feels like there was a sharp correction which needed to happen immediately, and that makes me happy. That does make me happy that's happened, which is good. So, I guess we'll kind of see what, you know, as said, Twitch gonna Twitch, and this is very Twitch, which is crazy. At a certain point, don't you have to like look at their leadership and be like, what the fuck were you thinking?
I know. I feel like Twitch was I think they even allowing that in the first place or making that sort of announcement in the first place, I think it was just out of desperation of, oh, they've already been struggling for a long time financially, and especially with Kick entering the arena and taking a lot of streamers with them. And so, these streamers were pulling in a lot of revenue for them. So I think that was an act of desperation, because it's like, oh, well, if they say artistic nudity, then that gives them, because there is no actual measure for what is considered artistic nudity. So that gives Twitch the discretion to say, oh, wait, oh, look, she's getting us a bunch of money right now. Let's file this under that. But it just backfired on them when apparently they just had a huge boom of it, and it would have completely ruined their entire brand had they not done something about it. So, yeah.
I feel like their brand has been damaged so much over the
Mhm.
last really like 2-3 years.
Yep.
Really like since 2020. They've really
Right.
made some horrible decisions.
Even with like payouts too, and when they moved
Yep.
from 70 to 30 and everything.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. And that's also a huge element of it, is just how they treat their streamers and the
Yeah, with the
partiality.
sponsors, remember?
Yeah. Yeah. And with the partiality they have with some of them, like, okay,
Mhm.
Pokimane can get away with anything. But if, a guy streamer does the same thing, then he's punished for it. Things like that. The revenue split 50-50 that is insanity. So rather than putting the focus on the creators and incentivizing the creators to want to actually stream on there and to actually see the money that their viewers are giving them. Instead, they're just doing stupid stuff like this, and something's got to give.
Well, something has given, and they've decided to
Boobies.
take a step back. Yeah, Boobies are now out on Twitch
Yeah.
from an artistic perspective, but if you sluts want to keep showing them, go ahead.
Don't forget though, Kick has that 70% booby coverage.
Yep.
I gotta be honest, man. I
There's a
just
lot of
always
boobs on the internet, huh?
I just always think of like these poor girls of their parents, right?
Mhm.
Like, what the hell, man? Like,
I
their
know.
parents got to be like, man, we really fucked up,
I know. It's sad. It's very sad. It's sad for the girls, and it's also very sad for the guys who are consuming this stuff and rotting their brains in it and keeping themselves from actually being able to have conversations with women in the real world. Just imagine these guys that are spending all this money on like OnlyFans girls or these titty streamers like that. It's like, imagine how their parents must feel as well. Like, oh my goodness, their son isn't interacting in the real world, isn't being a productive member of society and actually able to talk to women, actually able to find a wife. Instead, he's looking at titties on the internet.
I can't imagine being in the dating pool. We've talked about this countless times. I can't imagine being young and trying to date anybody today. People look at this as something to ease your way in to the dating scene. I see this as a tremendous roadblock.
Yeah.
Because when you meet somebody for the first time, getting to know their mannerisms, getting to know their, getting to know how they speak, how they look at you,
Mhm.
eye to eye contact, all these things are so important. And really what all people are using their phones for is just a quick booty call. Really,
Right.
that's really
Yep.
what it is. They're looking for these
Yep.
transactional relationships where they
Mhm.
go in, get their dick wet, and then they get out, and that's the craziest thing about it. And you see these girls who are just, they call it a body count today.
Mhm.
It's where they have these hundreds and hundreds of dudes. Like,
Mhm.
what dude in their right mind would want to be with a girl who's been with that many guys? Like, ugh.
Right. I
Fun
think
fact,
I
used to
mean
think it was called the kill count.
the kill-
A lot of people who've been dead
I
right
mean,
now.
that kind of stuff it's messing people up. It's preventing people from, men and women alike who are participating in this hookup culture and just have these astronomical body counts. They're preventing themselves from actually being able to bond with people, because they have spent so much time. Not to mention just like what that does to your brain, what that does to your emotions, and all that they're not even necessarily seeing psychologically. But just the fact that they treat dating as just this transactional thing, it's really messing people up and messing up people's ability to actually care about another human being.
I will say this. That's something that we talked about doing roundtables. I would love to do a Zoomer. That's what the generation now. A Zoomer dating roundtable, just so I can ask questions of like, what is this like? It seems like it's just the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
You know, it's the worst ever. Anyways, well now
Add it to the list.
excellent. Well, thank you, Twitch. Thank you, Twitch, for doing that. I'm good. That was the one good thing you've done, which is great. Speaking of great things, listen to this. War Machine came in with 5 gifted memberships to the channel. Let's go, War Machine. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate that. Methalus came in with the $50 direct donation. Blabs, go and read this off. It says to you.
Hey Blabs, Craig and Melanie. Don't really have anything to say, but want to give you some money. But as long as I'm paying, I have a question. Melanie, do you ever get tired of standing during streams?
No, I love it. I mean, because I guess if I was tired of it, I'd just bring my chair and lower the desk because it can. But I like it because I mean it's better for your circulation. Whenever I was streaming and sitting all the time, I started getting back pain. So I don't worry about that anymore.
Remember when Craig used to stand for a whole 10 hours?
Blabs, I've got good news for you. I have ordered a standing chair. So I'll be going.
Standing chair.
It's something you lean on, so you can kind of lean on it and still stay vertical instead of sitting.
That's cool. I need to get one of those.
What that looks like. I'm Googling.
It's just like, they call it a perch, which I have mixed feelings about that.
I
have very mixed feelings about that.
Okay.
Hey, Methalus, thank you very much. Appreciate that. We will gladly accept your $50. Thank you so much for your support today. Alan also came in with the $49.99. Says, here's a 50 to get Mel to say Ezekiel 25:17 off the top. Name the wallet from the 90s movie where it was said, I guess. Okay. I grew up a few blocks from the Hawthorne Cafe where the scene was filmed. It's my favorite Bible verse. Melanie, do you know Ezekiel 25:17?
Ezekiel 25:17, and I will execute great vengeance upon them with furious rebukes, and they shall know that I am the Lord when I shall lay my vengeance upon them.
Nailed it.
Excellent.
Love that. Also, Big Top came in with the $100 direct donation, Blabs. Says, hey, yo.
Oh!
Song request for Blabs. 50 Cent in the club with Melanie Mack. Pick the accent. Melanie, you get to pick the accent.
Oh, in the club. Wait, 50 Cent in the club. Okay, accent. I pick it.
Yeah, you get to pick.
Huh.
Big Top, thank you very much. I'm going to put you on the wall, my dude, as in addition to Alan. Look at it, Big Top. And Alan, you look at it as well. Look at it right there. Bam.
Oh, I want to hear a southern accent. Like a redneck accent.
Redneck. Redneck.
All right, so we got Big Top. That's awesome. That's
I know
great.
this song.
You do know this song. This is
right.
Great.
I just don't know the lyrics. I'm listening to it.
This is one of the hottest songs from back in the day. Big Top, thank you very much for the $100 direct donation. This is Blab singing 50 Cents in the club with a redneck southern accent. Blabs, are you ready?
I don't really. Hang on. Redneck. How y'all doing? I gotta get into it. I gotta get into it. Yeah! All right. I guess so. Why not? It's gonna be I'm gonna be a bright red tomato, but.
Hold on. Just wait. Hold on. I need to pull. You need to pull this up.
What?
Here you go. Here, I'm gonna play 50 Cent in the club.
Oh, I know it. I have the lyrics up too.
You got the lyrics pulled up?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Okay. Here we go, Blabs. You ready? Better be quick. I'm going to get a copyright strike.
I know it, but what is this, like karaoke or something?
No. Yes, it is. Go show it. Go, Blabs, go.
I don't play it. I don't want to go in. Listen, I'm just gonna go from the very beginning of it. I'm just gonna skip the whole bunch of goes though.
Okay.
Go, shorty. It's your birthday. These are my guns. Craig's like, I'm embarrassed for you. Anyway. We gonna party like it's your birthday. We gonna sip Bacardi like it's your birthday. And you know, we don't give a fuck. It's not your birthday.
That was one of your best ones. I think that might be your best one.
So how'd I do?
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
I feel like the Looney Tunes. What's his face's name with the guns?
Oh, Yosemite
Yosemite
Sam.
Sam.
Yeah,
Love it.
that was my motivation.
Well, thank you, Big Top. You made my soul die a little bit in there, which is good.
Yeah!
Matthew also came in with another $50. Blabs, read that off for.
Are you
Melanie
okay?
out
Is
there.
it cool?
Yeah.
Anyway, Matthew for a Canadian 50 balls. Melanie, I completely agree with you when it comes to e-girls and OnlyFans models. It rots your brain, and I know because I used to be that guy that would use OnlyFans. It's a lie. These women don't care about me, and I need to get away from it.
That is right. And I'm so
You're just
proud
a
of
dollar
you.
sign.
And that's the thing is with people who are neck deep in this stuff, it's not too late to change it. It's not like, oh, okay, you're ruined forever. Like, you can fix these things, just like someone who is obese can fix their obesity. Someone who's a drunk can fix their drunkenness, you know? So mad props to you for acknowledging that and doing better for yourself.
I love that.
Very
That's
proud
great.
of you.
Congratulations. That is excellent stuff. We have God, you guys have been excellent with your super chats today. Thank you guys very much. Matthew came in with the 20. Says, good morning to you all, and hope your Friday is a good one. Question for all of you. Do you all remember those retrospective vids on the old game trailers days? They were some of my favorites next to the Screw Attack videos. Matthew, I certainly do. I'm sure Blabs has no idea what game trailers is.
You
Melanie,
mean
do
just
you?
a video game trailer?
No.
Oh.
Game trailers.
Like game trailers. Well, I used to go to game trailers. Yeah. I used to upload fan movies, like take video game trailers and put like Linkin Park music to them. And that was a big thing on game trailers.
Oh, right. Mo came in. I'm not going to read your last name. Mo says, hard news is the most appropriate title for this topic. Yes, indeed. Alan says, I want to see the girl IQ test, not the rest. EHAFs came in and says, does this mean we get Blabs feet pic streams? No, we do not. Never. Scarfy says, this just makes me wonder what happens to Plexstorm. It was essentially Twitch, but with cam whores. I don't know what Plexstorm is. Thank you for exposing a couple thousand people to that, Scarfy. Pushup says, I think they changed after Venti ripped them apart.
It's like that Omegle website. It's a free random video chat. Make it easy to meet strangers online.
Oh, that's what everybody wants is to make it easier to meet strangers online. That's great. Winterfell came and says, yeah, right. This is back in the day. There was a time and place where you paid to see boobs. It was called a gentleman's club. And you supported single moms and college students. Twitch ruined our culture. Cheers. Thank you, Winterfell.
They weren't even that great at the strip club, though. So, I don't know.
Well, it depends on the strip club. I don't know because I never went to them. Melodic Method says...
more strip clubs than Craig.
You probably have.
I've never been to one.
I was a designated driver for one of my guy friends' birthday, so I just sat there doing homework. Fun story for you. I sat there doing homework at the strip club, and this stripper walks up to me, and she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, studying. She's like, why? I'm like, I have a quiz tomorrow. And she's like, she's totally judging me, right? A stripper's judging me. I was like, this is
wow. She's like, nerd.
Exactly. She's over there doing all the sexy stuff, and
I'm just studying like soil nutrition.
But remember,
a vote for me is a vote for boobs.
Anyways, all right. Set it up too good. Ridiculous. Melodic Method says, do you think Twitch's artistic nudity announcement and quickly removing it was a calculated money grab? I think it was too short of a time for it to be that quick of a money grab. Like,
I wonder how much more money they made during that like 24-hour period, though. Curious.
Right. That's that. And something to think about, actually.
Yeah.
When you buy bits on Twitch, you pay up front for the amount of bits. So if I went to buy $1 worth of bits of a tip to you, Melanie, 100 bits equals $1.
Right.
But it cost me, the person who's paying, $1.40 to buy that $1. So I'm paying my markup at the time of transaction. Whereas on YouTube and on Rumble, that cut is taken out afterwards, right? It's a 70-30 split.
Right.
So there's a lot of people who went in and probably bought a bunch of bits yesterday with the intention of going and spending it on all these cam whores. And now they may feel like they have a bunch of bits just sitting in their account that they don't intend on using anymore.
Sucks to be you. Stupid dude. Spend money on like Legos or something. Not women who don't give a shit about you. Make yourself happy. Fill your life with Legos.
Yumi the Movies has a great question. It says, I wonder if ad companies were like, no, we don't want to run ads during those streams.
Oh,
right?
interesting. I mean, you would think so. I swear, because these ad companies, if we can't even talk about the jab and all this kind of stuff, but then you have websites like Twitch where it's like, oh, okay, you can't talk about conspiracies, you can't talk about wrongthink, and you can't say gamer words, but these girls can show their tits on stream and that's okay. Ad buyers are, it doesn't make sense.
Well, it goes back to, I wonder how many of these companies that were boycotting X were like, yeah, we're still on Twitch. How many, like, did Disney have any campaigns going yesterday on Twitch? Who knows? I guess that's the hypocrisy that we all see every single day. The Randman says several channels were just streaming hentai.
Wow. Wow. I mean, technically that actually is art. They draw it. So Twitch opened up that can of worms.
Yep.
A can of octopus tentacles.
Cripplehead says, I've never seen such a drastic policy change making a website go tits up. That's great. Sig Shred said hi. Hey, Sig. Hey, thank you so much for your super chat before the stream even got started. Really appreciate that. Veggie Bad says, I'm a pirate. I'm not about the chest. It's all about the booty. Thank you, Veggie. Appreciate that. Congratulations. Matthew says, apps did to dating what Netflix did to Blockbuster. It took away the, quote, buy-in and the experience. Now it's readily available, but cheap and meaningless. Oh, man.
Well said. Well said.
Good stuff, Matthew. Willizin says, hey, Blabs, question. At the end of Deathly Hollows, if George was to gaze into the mirror of what?
Erised.
Okay. He just seen his own reflection waving back?
That's awful. His twin brother dies. His identical twin brother dies, right? So.
Oh.
No, I would think he would see both of them. He would see himself and his identical twin brother because he's never been the same after that.
Okay, I don't know what you just said. Cesario came in and says, according to things YouTubers say / false, at least 10 VTubers got the banhammer for the Twitch meta alongside an unknown amount of artists. Twitch didn't think this nudity policy through. I don't understand how they could have not thought this through at all. It's like the old expression about trying to get the toothpaste back into the thing. Like you can't do that once you squeeze it out. It's crazy. Humble Dirt Merchant says Blab's southern accent sounds like Forrest Gump. Not that he's a southerner, just retarded. Oh my God. Looking back on that, Forrest Gump was most certainly on the spectrum.
Wasn't that the whole point of the story, though? He was on the spectrum and he was very successful.
He's Forrest Gump.
Sean Forrest.
Alan came in and says the movie that the Bible quoted was Pulp Fiction. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate that. Sam the Sham came in, said with the tier 1 sub over on Twitch. And Crazy T says Twitch yesterday. Let the art titties commence. Twitch today. You know what? We take it back. And Sigtreed also became a brand new member to the channel. Thank you so much, Sigtreed. Or Tread. Sig Tread. Also, Starscream came in with the $50 direct donation. Says, hey, Craig, Bobs, and Melanie, I finished Resident Evil 4 Remake on the PSVR 2 yesterday. best VR experience I've had yet.
Oh,
Thoughts on VR in general? Think it's dead or just the beginning? Love you guys. Starscream, thank you very much. Thoughts on VR, ladies?
I never really got into VR.
I don't have a PlayStation, and I don't want to get an Oculus because Facebook is gross and all that stuff. So no, I feel like if there was a thing where you could like almost like Ready Player 8, hook yourself up to machines so you don't freaking get injured and all that, and you run like on a moving treadmill or something, you do all this crazy stuff, I would be down for it. I'm not gonna lie, I think that's really cool. It's a really great way to get in shape too and play a video game at the same time. Right? You're constantly running all that stuff, you're doing crazy stuff. I'm not against VR. I just think in moderation because it'll probably fuck up your eyes.
Yeah, that Beat Saber game was cool. I played that at an arcade once, so that was fun.
You heard it first. Blabs is in favor of Ready Player One and the dystopian future that we see.
Sorry.
You did. I was thinking, is that some spinoff I never heard?
I don't know why I said it. It's weird.
Ridiculous. My thoughts on VR are very simple. I think it's great for educational tools. I think it's, from a gameplay perspective, I think it's not very good. I think it needs a lot of work, but I think from it's best used from an educational standpoint as far as training and teaching people how to do things, whether it's surgery, whether it's I've used VR to do like traveling where you can go to a place and look around and feel like you're there. I think it's pretty fun. But that's pretty much the only way that I would use it. And Sigtred came in with 5 gifted memberships. Let's go, man. Sigtred, you've been massive today. Thank you very much for your support. Genuinely appreciate that. It puts us at 33 new members today. Just 278 away from our all-time goal, 310. Takaru came in and says, decent background noise whilst I make gains. Well, good. I'm glad that we can be your background noise. Hey, Takaru, squeeze it out, push it.
3 more reps.
Taking a
Come on,
Craig. He's working out.
3 more.
Maybe he was taking a workout shit. Who knows?
Making gains, taking shit.
That's so good.
Usually you're lighter afterwards, not making gains.
Blake wants to know why I didn't get all naked for the Mario Funathon. Blake, I'm not going to do that for the Mario Funathon. Although, by the way, I am working on the next Funathon right now, and it's coming along.
It doesn't involve nudity.
There's very little nudity involved in it, I promise. Dude says, I already called Twitch a cam girl site last night. Just proved it. Yes, you are correct, dude. Shane came in, says, random question for Mel. I'm currently going through the Old Testament for the first time. Do you have a favorite book of the Bible? I would say mine is the book of Romans.
I really like Joshua and Judges because it's very intense, a lot of battling. Really cool.
Dude says, I prefer hentai with hand-holding over the e-thoughts. Great stories, very wholesome. I'm sure it's extremely wholesome. Blake says, no one thought things through. Of course, Blake. Thank you very much. All right, guys, we're caught up on all the support today. Really appreciate that. Reminder that you can make Blab sing with the $100 direct donation. And Melanie, you get to pick the accents.
The accent, yeah. How fun was that?
Moose Rock, thank you very much for your Prime sub as well. Really appreciate that. That is spectacular. All right, let's move on to our next story. Ladies, we have a new theme park that is coming to the world. Nintendo is starting to dominate. We have seen the Super Nintendo World happen over in LA. We've seen it over in Japan. We're seeing it in Orlando being built right now. We've seen Mario rides. We have a Donkey Kong ride that is coming soon. And now, I don't know if you've heard this, but there is a Pokemon theme park coming to Japan.
Oh,
A new theme park announced, which is pretty exciting, I guess, if you're a Poke fan. Pokemon announced a new theme park, Poke Park Kanto, in Yamaruri Land. A space that transcends national, regional, and language barriers. So here we are. Pokemon fans are finally getting their theme park. It's going to be over in Japan. Does this excite you at all?
I mean, I think this could be really fun. I mean, there's a massive Pokemon fan base, so I'm almost surprised they didn't do this before. But better late than never. I mean, just look at how big Pokemon Go was, and how just people from everywhere got all involved in that. So I could definitely see a Pokemon theme park doing well.
This is in Yamiori Land, and this looks pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I got this video pulled up from Japan, and Japan does everything better than we do, right?
Oh,
is
wow.
It's all so bright and colorful and fun. This is obviously Christmas time and all that, but look at how fun that
Wow.
looks, huh?
That does look fun.
So this is this girl going with, I don't know. She's just, well, thanks Iris Lifestyle for the video. But
Shout out, Iris.
yeah.
We should
everyone-
get her on the show.
What's it like? So cool in Japan. So yeah, I mean, I think this looks, looks like a fun theme park, and it makes sense for this to happen
Mhm.
finally. So yeah, I mean,
I just wonder, how are they going to incorporate the Pokemon and all that kind of stuff? Is there going to be actual like simulated battles or something like that? Is there going to be like the Poke Center? What are they going to do? What kind of merch opportunities, food opportunities, all of that I'm very curious about.
well,
What
if
if they
Nintendo's
do like a Pokemon Go style thing with it?
Oh.
Where you have to catch the Pokemons, like in a theme park. How
Mhm.
cool would that be? And once you get everything done, you
Yeah.
get like a souvenir, something exclusive to the theme park. There's a
That
lot
you
of
have to
cool
pay
stuff
for?
they can do.
Right.
I mean, yeah, you could pay for, or you don't have to pay for. Maybe there's levels or something. That'd be cool.
Blabs, you got to pay for it.
Like, you're already paying for the ticket, right? So what if there's like an incentive to do everything at the theme park, and then you get some type of reward? I mean, they used to do that for small stuff back in the day.
Looks pretty fun. I mean, hey, I'm all about theme parks that are not Disney right now,
Yeah.
so I think that's great. By the way, I don't
Well,
know.
you could have like a Pokeball toss where you're trying to catch a Pokemon and it's like digital, but then you got to throw it in a specific, like if they make a specific hole. I don't know how else to say it, where you throw it.
What are you doing in your
With
free
that.
time now?
Yeah, Mel, tell us more.
And then if you catch the Pokemon, then you get a plushie of it.
Okay,
Something, yeah. There's a lot of stuff you could do with this.
love that. It'd be good. Dragons Advocates came in and says the Pokemon battles will be rooster fights. Just put down a couple roosters down there.
Oh no!
You're Jigglypuff and you're Pikachu. Fight!
Has anyone
Sorry.
ever called Jigglypuff?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
What question, chat? Which Pokemon would Blabs be?
Oh, I'm Pikachu.
Oh,
Mm.
I love Pikachu, but who would you be? You got
the
a
only
little
one I know
you'd have
anyway.
fun with.
Be, tread lightly, chat. This is Blab's ego we're talking about.
I don't have an ego.
Right.
Blabs is a Squirtle. What's that?
You don't know what a
could see
Squirtle is?
Squirtle. I could see Squirtle. Squirtle's
There's a lot of
adorable.
answers. Holy.
Squirtle's really
Blabimon?
cute.
Oh my god! All right, so that's coming out in Japan, which we'll probably never go to. So there's that. Silverado came in and says, Craig, we play the Mega Man Battle Network games. Probably not. It's not my type of game. Never have been. It's just kind of like one of those spinoffs that I was never really into. So, and Shredeemer came in with the new membership. Thank you very much, Shredeemer. That's awesome. That puts us at 34 for the day. Thank you guys very much for your support. Let's see if we can get to 50 today, man. That'd be ridiculous. You guys have been out spectacular today. Mike came in with the Prime sub, says, show me your boobs, Craig. No, Michael will not. And Crazy T says, nope, she's a Magikarp. Look it up, Blabs. Look up the Magikarp, Blabs. Tell me if you like it or not.
I'll do it right this instant. Let's see. Search.
Picasso says, Craig, you should trade over that Texas cap for a D-backs cap. Well, I would have if they won the title, but they didn't. Sorry.
I am not a fish.
All right, let's move on to our next story, which is also Nintendo related, which, hey, it is what it is. There was a Link's Awakening came out 30 years ago, and then they did the remake of it on the Switch not too long ago. It was like HD, and they upscaled it and made it look all cool and stuff. I think it was on the Switch. It was a Game Boy game initially, and somebody came out and they made like an upscaled version of it for the PC called Zelda Link's Awakening for PC. And it is a widescreen game here. And you can see it, obviously I'll bring this down a little bit, but this is not what it looked like in the actual game. It was actually much closer, right? But you can see as you play through, you can see more of the map as you play through, and you know, it's an old school game that's upscaled and everything, but you can bring the game back and you can see more of the map as you play through, which, you know, this is like kind of a fun thing to do, right?
Right, and you said this was Link's Awakening?
This was yes, this was
I was gonna
Link's
say
Awakening.
that looks just like the same map. Okay. I mean, okay. I have a few opinions on this. On one hand, I think it's sad to see fan projects and stuff like this taken down and all that, but at the same time, I mean, there's also a Link's Awakening remake on the Switch that you can play. So I can understand Nintendo's perspective on this. Because then,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
they got to make money. They got to sell games. They got to make money.
Yep, this was great because as you alluded to, it has now been officially pulled from the internet, and you can no longer see it. But at least we have Twitter video from it, as Nintendo has come in and they laid the legal hammer down with a wonderful note, sending it to the person who created it, which really sucks.
Yeah,
But it's tough, because I kind of get what they're going through, but at the same time, it's like, why can't we just, like, nobody would have known about this. Like 7 people would have known about this, but now this happens, and and of those 7 people, they probably all own Link's Awakening, right?
Right.
Because they're so passionate about it. But Nintendo goes in and they feel like they need to protect their IP, and here we are, and now we were just talking about, it's going to be really great. This Pokemon theme park is going to be great. But then you go, okay, and the reason why it's going to be so great is because they protect their IP. But with the good of that also comes the bad of this.
I get it, though. I think it's fair. I think in this kind of case, it's completely fair. I think if it were a fan-made game where they use sprites of Link and all that, and they had their own levels that they created and designed and did their own thing, that would be a different story. But with this being a direct port of a Nintendo game, I mean, I can't blame them. I really can't.
Ancient Gamer says something. He says they should pay him for his port and sell it on PC. I think that's how they should handle this. Maybe not selling it on PC, but they should just buy the port. Like, give the guy 10 grand, right? Which is probably more cost effective than them actually putting together the legal notice, given how expensive legal lawyers are, right? Give the guy 10 grand and be like, hey, we own this now. Congratulations. This is cool. And then you can take that and then bring it over to your other consoles potentially later on after you go in and debug it and everything. I think that's an interesting thought.
I think that is an interesting thought, but on the other hand, then all of a sudden people are going to make a business out of that. Let's port all these Nintendo games and they'll pay us for them, So that's it's a tricky situation.
I see that too. I definitely see that too. And as was pointed out in the chat by IM16bit, says that's how Sonic Mania got made, right? Sonic Mania started off as a fan project, and then and it turned out to be like the best Sonic game in years, which is awesome. But this is very par for the course for Nintendo, going in and protecting the IP. So, all right, let's move on. But before I do, I want to let you know that Picasso gifted a membership to the channel. Let's go, Picasso. And Shredeemer also with 5 gifted memberships. That is awesome. Thank you guys very much. That is spectacular today. You guys have been kicking ass. That puts us, well, not say ooh-woo. That puts us at 40 for the day, which is awesome. Thank you guys very much. All right. Oh, and John also came in as a Prime member over on Twitch. Says, you should do an Ace Attorney marathon to keep up with your reading, Craig. Shut up, John. And Lance lets you know that Labs is Slowpoke. Look up Slowpoke, the Pokemon right there.
Oh, I thought he was calling me stupid. I was like, God damn, what's wrong with you today?
All right. Let's move on. This is actually kind of an interesting story, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, Melanie. Okay. As there is talk of the UK Prime Minister looking to ban social media for users under the age of 16. This is a very interesting story, and I got to be honest, I'm kind of shocked to see that this is even being talked about. What are your thoughts on this? Just on the
Okay, I
surface level.
actually have kind of a nuanced opinion on this because on one hand, I don't like to see the government or anybody trying to ban the internet from anyone, but also parents shouldn't be letting their kids on the internet anyway. I've been saying this, like kids should not be on the internet until they're like 18 or at the very least 16. So while I agree that kids should not be on the internet, I don't like that much power from the government either. So yeah.
So here's my thoughts on this. Okay, there have been study after study after study showing that there are ridiculously bad effects, specifically on teenage girls who use social media. Their mental health is just destroyed. They have immense depression compared to previous
Oh yeah.
generations. Basically, they're scrolling TikTok, they're scrolling Instagram, they're being shown all these wonderful things that they don't have. And that's been a conversation that I've had with my daughter about
Right.
just the internet as a whole is like,
Mhm.
you're not seeing reality. This is a filtered reality.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, they're seeing a bunch. Not only are these girls seeing like on these Instagram accounts, all these other women who have all these surgeries done, all of these filters, all these edited photos that are pushing just an unattainable standard, and these girls who look like human beings are going to feel like they're going to feel ugly because of that. And then you got you see the negative effects of that even with the Kardashians, for example. Look at Kylie Jenner and all the procedures she had done as a teenager, which in turn made her look like a 40-year-old woman when she's like 20. And it's because of social media, the glam reality stuff, and all of these extra procedures for people trying to look like a Snapchat filter has created this alien like look that for some reason a lot of these girls think is they should be looking like. So there's that, but then there's also the lifestyle type thing as well. When they see someone living like a Kardashian and they think, oh, this is the life, this is the kind of life I want, and they don't realize just how miserable that a lot of these people pretending like they have this amazing life really are. So yeah.
I've said for a long time that I think something like this needs to happen, right? And I am definitely for limited government, but I do feel in situations there are things that there should be rules in place. Like
Right.
we go back to smoking cigarettes, right? In the 50s and 60s, doctors recommend this cigarette. It's good for
Right.
your health, right? And the government is telling, these doctors are saying, hey, whatever. And then guess what? We'd learn that cigarettes are really bad for you and they are killing you, which like, hey, you're putting
Yeah.
smoke into your body. Like, I'm not even going to go into the vaping thing, but, and so you learn and you adjust because of it. Right. In a situation like this, we're already seeing studies built on social media, the negative impacts it has on specifically children and everybody for the most part.
Right.
Like, why not make that change? If you can't smoke, if you can't get a tattoo, right?
Right.
Why not make those changes? Because it's all your health. So
Exactly.
I'm actually kind of shocked that they're actually talking about this. And this is like I said, it's a very nuanced conversation. Like I said, I was somebody who is not a fan of government reaching in, but I do feel like there should be rules or laws in place. So.
Right.
Nope.
Oh,
Blast, fire away.
No, I think you're incorrect when you say you should have rules because you give them an inch, they will take a mile, right? You start saying
I
That
do.
is
I
what I'm
agree.
scared of.
They're gonna just grab
I am
everything
scared of
else.
that.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's not the government's job to babysit your kids. It's yours. So if you're not paying attention to what your kid is doing, that is on you. I had Facebook when I was 16 or 15, and you know what? My dad was on Facebook watching everything that I was doing. He was making sure I wasn't doing anything stupid or posting anything dumb. And I turned out okay. I'm not posting nudes and stupid shit like that. I'm not Googling stuff. I don't know anything about the Kardashians. No idea this chick had like cosmetic surgery when she was young. I had no idea because I don't care. But yeah, I am not for this whatsoever. I think social media can be a tool for education too. And like I said, it's up to the parents. It's up for the guardians to make sure they're not doing stupid shit. That is it. It's like they just, like Craig was saying before the stream, they're letting the children be babysat by social media and the internet, and that's a huge problem. You're just like, oh, it's not my problem. The internet can just take care of this kid for an hour or two while I'm working. No, fuck that.
Okay.
Get your shit together.
So I agree with everything you just said, right? And that's why I feel like there's nuance to this, right? It's ultimately the parents' responsibility, right? But do you think that people should be able to smoke? Like if a 13-year-old's like, hey, I want to smoke, and they go out and like when they go to the store, they're not sold cigarettes because there are rules in place that say, hey, we can't sell you these cigarettes. Hey, we can't give you this tattoo. Hey, we can't sell you these lottery tickets. You're not responsible enough for this response. You are not mature enough for this responsibility, right? There are rules in place there. And you could say, well, the parents, they don't, it's ultimately their job. And I agree with you on everything.
A kid's gonna go around and get a cigarette anyway from somebody else. I mean, kids will go and get cigarettes from someone else, right? It doesn't mean that they're going straight up to the store and getting it. They're gonna find another way to get on it, just like they will for the internet. It'll be like on the black market or something like that,
Yeah,
they're gonna get on there eventually, so you might as well have it up front and be honest with them and teach them the ropes and say, hey, this is bad, just like smoking. Smoking is bad for you. This is what happens, the consequences. You should be able to sit your kid down and say, hey, if you do this on social media, XYZ will also happen. You will have consequences.
Okay. If you want to play the "they're going to do it eventually" card, then we can do that. We can do that, and we can say, well, they're going to see porn eventually. Why not just show it to them when they're 10?
Well, that's fucked. That's entirely fucked. That's fine.
Well, you understand what I'm saying, though, right?
Yeah, but that's
fucked up.
What 10-year-old kid's finding porn is what I want to know. How the fuck are they doing that?
On the internet.
Congratulations, they're finding it on social media. Oh.
Well, I'm saying, where is this? Where is some 10-year-old actually finding, on social Instagram? There's porn on Instagram or something like that. That's
Labs. I implore you to go on Twitter.
I don't want to find out.
It's all over Twitter.
I don't want to look.
Hey, I'm just gonna go on Twitter right now. I'm just gonna put in
Twitch as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, here it is, Blast. I'm gonna put this up, and I'm just gonna search boobs on Instagram on Twitch on X right now. Okay, I've searched boobs on X. Do you know how long it took for me to get to some boobs?
Like 2 seconds.
It's there, right?
Yeah.
So what? Well, they're gonna see it eventually. So what's the point, right?
But I mean, also they can just find this stuff in movies, on TV shows.
Oh my God.
All that stuff.
Sorry, Jesus Christ. I need to close the window.
Balls?
Way more than that.
Oh my.
Right?
He found
way
the Twitch
more than
streams.
That. Well, all I'm saying is
Mods.
if you play the they're gonna get it eventually card, you can do that with anything you want, right? So
yeah.
But I just think we've seen study after
censoring or doing anything leave the government out of this.
My thing is, how is the government going to regulate this? How are they going to know that someone's kid is on the internet? That's where it gets a little scary because, it's like, well, how would they even know?
And then are they stalking you? Are they watching everything? And we already know they're watching us every time. But now they're just going to double down on watching you, and they're going to justify it, saying, oh, we're for your protection. Oh, yes?
Right.
Okay.
Well, I think, here's the reality is that they can't do anything, right? Mm-hmm. But what they could do is the same thing that Twitch says, is when you log in, it says, are you over 13? Because Twitch is hypothetically over 13, right? Mm-hmm. And when you create an account on your Twitter or Instagram or whatever, it asks you those questions. Or there are locks on your phones that are parental locks, that you talk about being a parent. Maybe that's one of those locks that you have that says you cannot download these things until you're 16, right? I don't have all the answers here. But I do know that we have the answers saying that this is a detriment to society. We've seen a tremendous slip in people's mental health, mostly due to their exposure to the shit that they see on social media. And if you're right, if they want to see it, they'll eventually see it. But if we could put up some gates
Right.
then I don't see that as a bad thing.
I see that as the parents doing that then, saying, hey, we're going to make a block on our internet at home.
Right.
Certain words will just block you out of the internet or something.
Or just like don't let their kids on the internet at all. Parents need to on their own computers put passwords on them and keep their kids' computers offline and just give them some offline games to play on it or something.
And give them real morals, because apparently
Yeah.
lots of kids these days don't have morals. And they're like, oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, fuck this guy. No.
What's interesting about this Twitter post is it seems like most people are actually very much on board with the idea of it. When you look at the responses to it, the irony of people being on social media while saying, yeah, you should absolutely ban social media. Daddy.
Now, okay, weirdo.
Well, I mean, I don't think that, people say, oh, I can see the benefits of this, and this guy's right. It's not going to work in reality, but the attempt to get rid of annoying kids off the internet is admirable, right? And I think that's the biggest thing is you talk about like protecting your kids. Don't you want to give them the opportunity to not have their brain fried by the bullshit that is exposed to them on a day-to-day basis through social media? I mean, yeah. And yeah, ultimately, is it the parents' responsibility? 100%. But like I said, it's a nuanced conversation. And there's definitely pluses and minuses. And, for me personally, I'm not a fan of government intervention pretty much ever. But there is government intervention and things like smoking, and alcohol, things like that. So who knows? But any closing thoughts on that?
I don't know. I just think it's really weird that like the government should get far away from kids as possible.
Parents, do your job. Don't let your kids rule you. If you think, oh, the kids are gonna do it anyway, like then you're like discipline them, like bro. Because when I was a kid, my parents told me, oh, you can't do this, you can't watch this channel. We didn't do it. And we knew if we got caught doing it, there would be consequences. So stop making excuses and being lazy parents. Do your job. Because these kids have to integrate into society, and if you're not doing your job, then you can very well ruin their entire lives right at the start.
And don't forget, if like you're censoring what kids see, that's kind of like instant propaganda. There, you can only show them what they need to see and how they should think, and then they grow up thinking only one thing. Nah.
Well, thank you guys very much for your support. Moment. Well, I know you had very much like a very much government is bad hat that you put on, which was awesome.
I respect it.
Scarpy came in and says, I don't know about Blaz, but Craig is definitely missing no when it comes to reading super chats. That's an insider Pokemon reference. Thank you very much, Scarpy. And Shredeemer came in and says, y'all have become my new favorite, my new daily show. I wish that said favorite. My new daily show. I love the rotation of host and guest. Razor Mondays being a personal fave. Welcome to the party, to the gifties. Hey, we greatly appreciate that, Shredeemer. It is huge and massive, and your support goes a long way in allowing us to continue. So thank you very much. Josh, thank you so much for being a member for 13 months. My boy, Josh, great to see you. Godzilla came in, says, hard difference between store providing access and a parent providing access to anything. Don't outsource parenting. Thank you, Godzilla. Appreciate that. And Willing Through Life with Brian says parents can also monitor their kids' screen time. This is true. This is true. And Junior says, Blabs is the dictator America needs.
Listen. Vote for me is a vote for boobs.
There you go. Alan came in, says, with the $4.99, says, if I had a son, I would tell him, don't watch porn because it motivates him to meet girls IRL where it counts. Right. There's something better. There's better things out there than looking at your screen and all that stuff. Vault says, sure, ban social media. It was only banning Alex Jones. It could only result in independent journalists getting in prisons. Social media is how we communicate. Authoritarians can't have to allow that. Allow that? Well, thank you, Vault. Appreciate that. It says, as soon as Alex Jones is allowed back on Twitter, bam, UK government wants to ban social media. Can't have Alex influencing the youth. And Nikki says, I hate the straw man arguments that you're giving, Craig. I hate the straw man arguments that you're giving, Craig, that, they'll find it eventually. They will, but the parent should parent and the government shouldn't. It's not the government's job. I like I said, I agree with everything you just said. Vault says those crying about social media need to stop expecting sugar daddy government to raise their kids. Boomer and Gen Xers need to stop being lazy and actual parents. Let's go. Thank y'all. Appreciate that. Yeah, like I said, I agree with everything. Like I said, it's a very nuanced conversation, and there's different levels to it. So yeah. Neon Suspender says, what happened to the V chip on TVs and parental controls on computers? Do they not exist anymore? Good show. Thanks again. I don't know about the V chip. That sounds like something totally different. And screen time monitoring that, there are parental controls on iPads and all sorts of stuff that you can do. So absolutely. But
Greg,
it, like I
do
said,
you see the bottom of my screen?
the bottom of your screen. Oh, I do. Look at that. Thanks for that.
What the fuck is that? Oh shit.
The hell? What is this? Why am I a monkey with long nipples?
Hide your kids. Get your kids off the internet so they don't have to see this.
Yeah, no joke.
Okay, nipple
Hey,
pinchy.
If you're 16 and under watching this show, just log off and quit the internet right now. Just do it. It's ridiculous. GTI Warrior came in, says the biggest problem in America is the abdication of personal responsibility. Oh my God. Yes. GTI fucking nailed it. It's crazy. All right. Thank you very much for that support, GTI. Let's go on to our next story. We got a couple more for the day, and including what Blabs very eloquently put in our run sheet, simply as Fatties in the Sky. But that story's
Craig's life really entertaining.
that story's coming up next. But first, just a real quick hit here. As Naughty Dog, you guys know Naughty Dog. They did The Last of Us, and they have a long lineage of single player games. Well, they have gone out and they made a public statement saying that they have canceled an update on The Last of Us Online. They have totally removed the game. They are no longer developing it. Number one, Melanie, did you know this game existed, Last of Us Online?
No, I mean, I know that the original The Last of Us game didn't that have an online mode on it? But I can't, it's not ringing a bell about a whole Last of Us Online.
Well, so the multiplayer team was in pre-production of the game, and they announced it when they announced Last of Us 2, and they said they were crafting an experience we felt was unique and had tremendous potential. Well, obviously they didn't think that much potential because they closed it off. So the long and short, they said in ramping up to full production, the massive scope, our ambition became clear, but they pretty much had to make a decision between supporting like a multiplayer game for years to come or focusing on single player games. And they decided to go back to single player.
This is why they learned that all they have to do is take The Last of Us 1 or The Last of Us 2 and turn the contrast up just 5 ticks higher and call it a remaster, and that people will buy it. So why do they need to put in all this work and effort for an online thing whenever that's all they have to do?
Right. This is I think this is like one of those things that is almost kind of expected at this point. You see companies. I'll say this: I would much rather them cancel this game than release it and it not be good.
Right
now, some people in the quote tweets of this, and what's interesting about this is they posted this on Twitter, and they're like, "Here's the update," but then they don't let anybody reply to it. Right? So naturally, they get ratioed. I hate when companies do this. I think this is the most bullshit thing in the world.
That means
horrible.
They know that they're shit.
Well, they're making a decision that's going to piss off a lot of people. And from what I see on the quote tweets, it's pretty 50-50. But the biggest statement that they made was not allowing people to speak and have a conversation about it. So it makes them look even worse. It's like they know that they were wrong. So it's tough. I will say this. There's a guy who was on the QA team, and he was talking about it. They spent 4 years on this. 4 years, and it's not coming out. But the guy who was on the QA team was saying like he really enjoyed the game. He thought there was a lot there, but obviously we'll never see it, which will be very interesting to see if this gets leaked some way. You see these games that never get released.
Right.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun.
That would be fun. I mean, if they were able to leak all the Last of Us 2 cutscenes and all that kind of stuff, surely someone can leak this. And
yes.
yeah, I'm curious about what's going on with that Insomniac Wolverine leak as well. I don't know if you guys ever talked about that earlier.
Yeah. I heard about that.
Yeah. I think they should 100% just be like, "Yup, it's happening, and it's going to be awesome." And yeah, that was a story a couple days ago, which they got to have 4 or 5 days left. Where hackers were saying that they need to more or less, what they say, pay them $2 million. Is that what it was?
Yeah, they wanted $2 million, or they're gonna leak, leak whatever they have on the next game. So.
That's awesome. I mean, that's so intriguing. That's so intriguing. It's not just what they're going to leak on the next game, but there was also some employee information.
Right. That's where there were some big problems there. The fact that they had employee passports and they were essentially going to dox these people, just ridiculous.
Yes, it's that's where things get slippery. If it's a video game, it's one thing. If it's dealing with people's information, that's tough. All right. We'll move on to Fatties in the Sky, according to Blab. But first, we have Hayden came into the 20. Says, I just want to point out, it's generally not boomers and Gen X that are having kids addicted to the internet. The kids of boomers and Gen X grew up with the internet. Most people with kids terminally ill are millennials.
That doesn't say terminally ill.
Online.
Craig.
Same thing.
Same thing. I agree.
God,
I mean, this is a good point. I mean, millennials are chronically online. Gen Z is as well. So yeah, I think that boomers just didn't realize with the internet, because I mean, I was on the internet when I was 13. I don't think I should have been, but my parents didn't know. Like, I mean, the internet was brand new back then. I mean, granted,
I will say this:
internet was a lot different back then too. There wasn't all this social media, and there wasn't all of this crazy stuff. I'd go on there and play RuneScape. It's a different story.
The internet has definitely changed since we were kids, for sure. I would like to point out that I actually pre-read that, and Hayden, thank you very much for that. That is spectacular. I read that before. I read that before and read it as terminally ill both times before. So
that's great.
For dyslexia.
No, I haven't.
I think you should.
Raider came in, says request Silent Night in an Asian accent.
Ooh, Silent Night, you already got this. Is a good one.
It's a great one. Absolutely. Raider, look at it. Blabs is going to sing Silent Night in an Asian accent. You ready, Blabs?
No. I just went and found the lyrics.
You don't know Silent Night?
I don't know the whole lyrics to it. No.
All right, here it is. Courtesy of Raider coming in. This is Blabs singing Silent Night.
So hang on, my L's become R's, right?
And R's become L's, yes.
Right. Or light, I should say. Huh? All right. Silent Night. Hoary night. All is calm. All is blight.
R.
Lound yon.
Blabs, if you're gonna sing it, you gotta sing it. Sing it like you would.
Can't sing this, man.
Silent night, holy
night, holy night.
She said hoary night.
All is calm. All is bright.
Let's go.
Ta-da!
Blabs, give us one more little try. I need a good quality effort at it. Raider just super chatted $100.
I know.
All right.
He's so mean to me. Okay. Hoary infant so tin lel and murd. Sleep in heaven. Why am I going no?
Sleep in heaven.
Repeat.
Sleep in heaven. Repeat.
You guys sound like you need to be in a mental institution.
Raider, thank you very much.
Thanks,
Hopefully,
Raider.
hey, listen, next Friday, I hope we have a dozen. We just do Christmas carols all day. That's
I
what I'm
love
hoping from the
it.
show.
I
There
love
it
To
is.
it.
ruin all of these songs.
It's gonna be awesome. GTI came back, says Fatties in the Sky. Did late Elvis join the Doors? Fatties in the Sky. Hey, that's nice, GTI. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And Blake says, deck the halls with boughs of holly. Rah, 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 rah. Thank you, Blake. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to Blabs. Can you please read this off, please? Once again, what is this story called?
It's time for Fatties in the Sky.
All right, this story came out a couple days ago, but I feel like it's important that we talk about this. As Southwest Airlines, hubbed out of Dallas, Texas, is hubbed for its customer of size policy that allows overweight flyers to purchase one seat and get another complimentary. So we have the people on the larger variety here. Obviously, they're getting roasted on the internet by people who are here. But this is actually a great question. How do they measure that? Can I just identify as fat and get more room?
Whoa.
Right.
Mhm.
So lots of
They got
questions.
to weigh people, get the tape measure,
Well,
or
the
just
tape
be like,
measure
"Oh,
doesn't-
you're definitely fat." All right,
The tape
here's
measure
your-
doesn't even fit. It can't even wrap around their entire body.
Well, it goes to the idea of, okay, this just says customers of size. Okay, my first thought is
Aren't we all of size?
I'm 6'4". Whenever I get on a plane, it's like I feel like I got my knees to my chest over here. There's no way in hell I'm comfortable, right?
Right.
So are they going to create a row that pushes are they going to immediately put me in first class? Right? Well, I guess Southwest doesn't have first class, but will there be a row that allows me to have a little bit more space to accommodate for me? Right? What about me, Southwest? It's about me. Right? I'm curious. Is number one, how do they judge this? Is this like in Willy Wonka where the golden eggs fall down and then you get put on a thing and either you're a good egg or you're a bad egg and you go down to the incinerator? But I don't know. I mean, there's so many questions associated with this. Your thoughts, Melanie?
I think it's just ridiculous, and people they need to stop enabling this kind of stuff. People who are that large should not expect society to have to cater to them and have to accommodate them. I mean, at the end of the day, it's your health is your responsibility, and if you are negligent in that and you are irresponsible in that and making yourself difficult around other people, then that's a you problem, and that's something that you need to fix.
So I went to southwest.com and I looked up their
He
customer
booked
of
himself a
size.
flight.
Yeah, immediately. I was like, oh, I'm in. And their extra seat policy. And I went in and I was like, and they have a question here in their FAQs.
Mhm.
How do I know if I need a second seat? The armrest is the definitive gauge for the customer of size. It serves as a boundary between seats. If you're unable to lower both armrest and or encroach upon any portion of a seat next to you, you need a second seat.
Wow.
So if you're too wide, you need a second seat. So once again, I'm too
Just
tall.
sit down.
No, I actually have a serious question about that. Do they have the measurements of the seats? Because those seats
Oh.
are fucking tiny.
Yeah.
So, like, even someone who's actually healthy, they might have, like, their legs sticking out or something, right? Or, like, an elbow or something.
There's definitely a big difference with generation as well, because I feel like the boomer generation or even the Gen X generation, a lot of the more fat people would prefer not to avoid flying at all than to have to humiliate themselves at that capacity and be like, oh, can I get the fat double seat? Because they actually have some sort of dignity. But if you take like a more younger generation that has glorified, fatness, and then it's just they don't have that kind of shame that the older generation does have. And shame is actually a healthy thing to have. We all should have a certain degree of shame with things that we're doing, or things that are negative that we're doing in our lives, and that being one of them.
So they asked about how do you know if you need a second seat and if you need a seatbelt extension. The way this policy works is you actually have to buy 2 seats, and then you get refunded the second seat later. So they give you the first seat, you buy the second. After you fly, you go back and you get the refund because you're a big person. So, and you go. And the irony of all this, which is like, it's honestly like, I actually think this is kind of even more degrading. When you go in, it asks you who's flying, and you have to put yourself in passenger 1 and passenger 2.
Wow.
They're getting the hand. Now there are 2 of them. But like, according to Wikipedia, they said that the seat width can be from like 17 inches to 16.1 inches. So for perspective, this is 17 inches. So that's all you get for like 13-hour flights. Like, that's ridiculous. It's like, fuck these people.
Yeah. I have, like, legitimately, there are a lot of tall people that it is not comfortable for us at all to have our legs crunched together like that for an extended amount of time. And by extended amount of time, I mean like 10 minutes.
Right.
So do we fall under the customer of size policy?
Right.
And what about tall and big people? Can they buy 3 seats? And does this only end at 2 seats? Do you have to have an aisle seat? Can you sit in the middle? What if you sit in the middle? Do you overflow to the other seats? You get an entire aisle to yourself or entire row to yourself? I mean, I'm sure that surely they've thought about this, right? Gosh.
They're just so greedy corporations that they squeeze everyone for like every little cent that they have. If they just went back to actually, what it was like in the 60s and 70s flying, people dressed nicely. It was like a luxury to fly. You had nice seats, even if you weren't even first class. Like, it's flying used to be like an experience, like I said, a luxury, and now everyone's just packed together like cows. Like, it's kind of inhumane, honestly, because like, if you think about it, if you're even flying for like 3 hours to like 12, 13, 14, 15 hours, it's not healthy being stuck like that. It's actually very bad for your body. I don't know. I think this is insane stuff, especially for people who suffer for like muscular issues. I mean, what about them?
Right.
They actually have serious issues.
True.
And I'm not saying that like all fat people, don't work out and, they don't try to better themselves, but like skinny people have issues too, right? Like, they have muscular issues. Are you going to accommodate for them? Do they get their own seats also, where they have some room to like relax and stretch? It's so questions.
So our buddy Matt over at Salty Nerd, been on his podcast a few times. Great dude. Great. You guys absolutely go check out Salty Nerd. He actually had a pretty good response to this. And his thought was like, hey, stop it, assholes. And I'm going to read his comment here. He says, I'm pretty sick of seeing the condescending responses to the story. Not everyone is obsessed because is obese because they lack willpower not to eat. Obesity is a handicap, and this free seat isn't for someone else. It's so that one person can fly comfortably without a monetary penalty for their body type. Lots of overweight people struggle with traveling, and the size of an airplane seats doesn't help. Why should it cost twice as much for them to travel, quote, as a, quote, normal person? It's far more comfortable for the obese person and the passenger next to them if they have an extra seat. Do the people criticizing this decision from Southwest also have a problem with wheelchair-bound people having special bathroom stalls? Do they have an issue with handicapped people boarding first? Do they have an issue with handicapped parking spaces? Quit it with the outrage over this. Outside of first class, this should be standard for every airline. Let big people fly affordably and in comfort.
I'm going to disagree big time with this. People who are fat and there are extremely rare anomalies of people with actual conditions. But people are fat simply because they are eating too much. That's just reality. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. And to liken this to someone in a wheelchair is completely insane. It's just, yeah. I mean, everybody has a personal responsibility with their own health. And if it's within your own measure, you shouldn't be getting special privileges about it. And at the end of the day, fat people don't have to be fat. Being fat is a choice. It's not easy, especially given current dietary guidelines and stuff that make it easy, that make food addicting, but make healthier choices. Eat real food, eat meat, eat vegetables. Do that. Good luck trying staying fat if you're only eating meat and vegetables. That would be very difficult to do. So I'm just sick and tired of this. Oh, this is a handicap just like a wheelchair type. It's not. And it's honestly very disrespectful to wheelchair bound people to even make that kind of comparison.
Yeah.
I think that it goes back to nuance, right? Ultimately, the idea of them having to buy a second seat, it's better than what I initially thought of. Like, well, you show up, you're overweight, you leak into another seat, and you are automatically given. But if you're going in and you have to go through the extra steps of having to get a refund and all that stuff, you know, I feel that if you're going to offer this to people who are fat or obese or whatever you want to call it, then you have to offer it to everybody, right? You have to offer it to tall people. You have to offer it to people with long limbs or people in wheelchairs or whatever. You have to offer it to everybody to where you can get that extra room for the price of one. And Matt says at the end, he's like, look, this should be the standard for every line. Let big people fly affordably and in comfort. How about we just let everybody fly affordably and in comfort? You know, not just big people. Let everybody fly in comfort. And I think that's probably the biggest thing. So,
well, there's one more thing to that also. If you think about it, let's say there's an emergency. Now, people who are in wheelchairs, they are by emergency exits already. Like, they are good to go. But what if these people who can't even fit in the aisles are blocking the way in safety measurements? Like, how does that work?
True.
Where are these seats going that you cannot risk the safety of somebody else because this person can't even walk through an aisle because they're like that big, these aisles?
The Southwest website says that this has been an ongoing thing for 30 years. But apparently this has just become a thing because people have just gotten bigger. It says what is the why is there a policy for customers of size? We've had a long-standing policy for more than 30 years designed to meet the seating needs for customers who require more than one seat and protect the comfort and safety of everyone on board. Yeah, kind of generic statement. But they've been saying they've been doing this for 30 years, right? But I think people have just grown much, much bigger in 30 years.
Because they're fatties and they eat unhealthy shit.
Well, we as a country and as a society eat shit. You know, the government.
In a country, I would say more than Europe because so many things are banned in Europe because they're extremely harmful for you, like Fanta and all that. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, it comes back to personal responsibility for a lot of people. And I think the irony of this is I don't think Matt's a really big guy, like at all. I've never seen him as a big guy or overweight guy, but just curious, you know. Maybe we'll have him on to kind of talk about it, but you know, we'll see. It's always good to hear other perspectives, which is awesome.
For sure.
Hey, check this out. Big Top came in with 20 gifted memberships. Let's go, Big Top. Thank you so much. If you guys got gifted a membership, make sure you say thank you to Big Top with the massive 20 bomb. Let's stink and go. Puts us at 60 for the day. Big Top also came in, made you sing earlier. So thank you very much, Big Top. Hey, do me a favor. Look at it right there. Let's go. I'll put you on the wall right here. All right. Well, we're almost through. We're almost done for the day. And we've had a spectacular day, which is great. We really appreciate everybody's support. Sonia says, hey, Craig, Blabs, and Melody, I love hearing what you have to say. I hope to join more live streams in the future. Be well, darlings. Thank you, Sonia. Appreciate that. We are live Monday through Friday. Would love for you to join us. Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Central Time. And Scarfy says, Melody may disagree, but Santa was so fat. He needed a wheelchair. Fatness is a disability. So is blackness, according to Target.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy. Yikes. All right. And there we go. We end the day with 60 memberships on the channel today. That is spectacular, guys. Great stuff. Kyle came in with this super chat real quick. Says the airline sitting situation
often makes me think back to how Bowser and Wario fit into go-karts.
Yeah.
True.
Bringing it back
Like-
to gaming.
I imagine Kyle just like, just sitting there, just scratching his chin,
Wait a
thinking about it.
minute.
Wait, that doesn't make sense. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate that greatly. All right. So I'm going to be live this afternoon over on Rumble. It's going to be a Rumble exclusive stream at rumble.com/sidescrollers. Why? Because we're using Rumble Studio. I have no idea what to expect, but we're definitely going to hang out with our wangs out. I'm sorry, that's not Twitch. And it's not artistic. But with that said, shut up, Labs.
You didn't even say anything. You just told me to shut up and I don't even speak.
Just shut up.
Okay.
With that said, head over to rumble.com/sidescrollers. Hit the follow button. Let's get past that 5,000 marker. Would really appreciate you guys popping in over there. If you guys go to Rumble at all, you can join us over there on a day-to-day basis. So we have close to, we got over a couple hundred people watching over there as well. So continue to grow, which is excellent. You guys go find Melody Mac over on her multiple channels. Bible Time with Melody Mac, Melody Mac Go Boom. And are you doing any gameplay stuff anytime soon? Or?
Probably not in the probably after the New Year's when I'll get back to streaming game stuff. So yeah, just Melanie Mac for that.
Awesome. And you can go find Blabs over on YouTube and over on Kick. Certainly not on Twitch, where you will you can find all the
e-thoughts. on Twitch in like 7 months.
Ooh. And speaking of Twitch, if you guys want to give us some free money, you can use your Amazon Prime sub on us. We'd really appreciate that. Sync your Amazon Prime up with your Twitch account and subscribe to us over at twitch.tv/stutteringcraig. We greatly appreciate that. It's literally free. It gives us $2.50 to support with, which was just spectacular. And we appreciate that because it's already there. It's just sitting there and you literally don't have to pay anything else. So with that said, guys, thank you very much for your support this week. Once again, to be live over on Rumble. I look forward to seeing you guys there. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Blaz, am I missing anything?
Your head?
Yeah. Sounds good. Guys, have a great day. Remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got that goal? Go get it. See you guys later.